Hi guys, I'm Chris Mack from Cardiff. This is the SLUK Brogue Trader GP that I came up with a few years ago. It was obviously it was born through beer. Myself and Iggy at a rally, and we thought we'd come up with a basket case scooter and turn it into something quite special. So this started off as a £250 frame from a guy called Darren Hardwick in Plymouth. We shipped it over to Rimley Lambretta Centre with Dean Norton, Marco and Mickey. We went over there on the plane. We rode different engines from the BSG 305 to the Casa at the time 250, and also at the time the development engine, which was a 265, which this is the 265. So 265 Casa Lambretta engine, sequential gear change on there. It's 44.9 horsepower, as on Jerome's dyno from Reed Speed Scooters in Worcestershire. It's got a flip up back end. It's got all the goodies that Rimini and Casa Performance offer, from the twin disc front suspension, from brake with the fancy Casa Performance suspension. It's been completely dry built and built by Casa. Yeah, the back end, the hydraulic back end, was built by was done by Claudio with Northern Italy. They work very closely with Rimini, so they cut and shut the frame, put all the hydraulics in. It works on a remote control, which is quite cool. Obviously, that to allow all the telematics, then the little hydraulic lifts to be housed. Oil Tech had to build a one-off tank. So great tank. It's super scooter, lovely. I've always my entire life I've wanted a sort of race inspired scooter since I was a kid, since I was a teenager, and I've got one. And so it's a super bike. It's fast, it's smooth. It's the SSR single ring motor. It's going to be used for hooning around. I'll may do a couple of rallies, local things. Hence I've got the rack on the back. But everything on the bike is Casa or original Innocenti Lambretta, right down to the ignition switch. Marco and Mickey and Dean did a great job. We got a big scoop on the panel, one-off fabricated panel work. It's been painted by a guy called Terry Chambers, who's based in Nottingham. Great guy, specialises in race painting race motorcycles, but has been doing scooters for a long time as well. It's not meant to be about the paint, it's meant to be about the scooter. It's meant to be about the engineering. It's meant to be ridden. I'll use this for Sunday rides, and like I said, I'll use it for local rallies. I'm unashamedly going to say this is checkbook scootering at its absolute height, which didn't sit well with me, to be completely honest with you. Hence I built a T5. So we'll talk about the T5 in a moment, because that's one I built myself. But this is a lovely bike. We've got dials on the top of the glove box. The couple of things there, they're not just pretty dials, they're actually useful. One's an EGD gauge, keep on tap of engine temperature. We've obviously got a fuel gauge, because obviously when we had the tank built, we put a fuel sender in there, and obviously we've got a voltmeter. Got a battery on the bike, one for the obviously DC electronic ignition, but obviously one for the lift up back end, but also for the electric start. So Gary Seal from Supertune was fantastic. We sent, or Rimini sent over a Casa case to Gary, and he did a one-off mag flange. So left hand side thread on the crank. So it's fantastic. I've got to say, I've only used kickstart twice the whole time I've owned the bike. Turn the key, hit the button, bang, it just starts. One of my concerns was it was so much compression, the electric start wouldn't work right. It absolutely works perfectly. Just showed Iggy a few moments ago, and it started from cold, hasn't been started for nearly 3 weeks, but it really is fantastic. I only wanted it because it was fancy, and it was obviously, we were all in the melting pot of what we're going to have on the scooter, so hence the sequential gear change, the lifting back end, the electric start. It was going to be water cooled. Obviously Casa hadn't completed the development of their water cooled cylinder, and if I'm honest, I was a bit anxious for the scooter, so we got it back. We can always look at the water cooled cylinder in the future. Once I've had enjoyed it for a year or so and really ran the scooter around. Typical Rimini, it's beautiful. It's screwed together so well. It really is a nice machine. Not for everybody. Some people won't like this type of thing, but for me, I think it's great. I really, really like it. So big thanks to Gary Seal from Supertune, who was incredibly helpful from the off. He was great. We've ended up with a great result. One-off mag flange, all anodized. One-off Casa cooler, because the Casa cooler's got to be bigger to obviously take the big mag flange to take the starter motor. Protti had to, the bike went over to Protti. They had to redevelop the exhaust, because the original Casa Protti exhaust hits the starter motor, so they had to rework the downpipe as it comes off the bottom of the cylinder. So all that works now lovely. Just a really nice end result. Cost a lot of money, more money than I probably would have liked, but it is what it is. I got it. I'm not going to sell it. I'm going to keep it, enjoy it, and ride it. And this is the Brogue Trader. I call it the Brogue Mobile #1.